Good day, everyone. This is Jinky F. Nunez, your teacher in CSS subject. Today, we are going to learn the first common competency in Computer System Servicing NC2, which is entitled Applying of Quality Standards. Before we start, let us know the learning objectives that are set for you to learn as you go along the presentation. At the end of this module, the learners shall be able to apply quality standards in computer systems servicing. Assess quality of received materials, assess own work, and lastly, engage in quality improvement. The first thing that we need to do in applying quality standard is to assess quality of received materials. In order to do this, the student must relate material properties to product and process the quality. These are the factors that must be taken into consideration when choosing the right material for their components and assemblies. So number one that you must consider is the selection of material. Number two is the testing of material, and the last one will be the cost of material. So let us study it one by one. Okay, let's go first with number one, selection of material. When you say selection of material, material selection is one of the most common tasks for design engineering. Okay, so the ability to assess the material's impact on the performance of a product is crucial for reliable performance. Okay, for you to be able to understand it, I'm going to give an example. Okay, so example of it is if you are going to buy a printer, the most commonly brand that we are going to buy is the HP, the Canon, and the Epson. Okay, and then another example is for some computer hardware, we are going to choose the Intel. Okay, because the reason for that is that sometimes buyers are also considering the label or the name of the company which are producing great quality of materials and are known in the market. Let's proceed with number two, testing of material. The testing of material properties is widely understood to be the key to obtaining data for a project, performing failure analysis, or understanding material interactions. Material testing also provides information on the quality of incoming and outgoing products. So it means inspection, test equipment, and techniques are demonstrated for a wide range of materials and assemblies during the class. Okay, so the purpose of the testing of material is it provides the participants with both knowledge of the common failure modes. Let's proceed with the last one, which is the cost of material. The cost of material is also considered when buying or selecting materials for a specific project. The amount may vary but never taken for granted the quality and the reliability of the material. You have to consider these questions if you are going to buy a material. Number one question is, will you buy material which is less expensive but worse in quality? Or will you buy material which you cannot afford? So those are the questions that you need to ask yourself before buying a material. Because people look for places which can meet their standards and right cost for materials. Always remember that the characteristic of common materials for increased security is also a great factor in the design and planning process. Evaluation of longevity criteria and assessment of site environmental factors are very vital to project planning, which means specific knowledge about the project and general common sense must dictate design and material selection. Although many materials can offer enhanced protection, often the most cost-efficient and readily available material that provide a reasonable life expectancy for the project must be considered. Before planning and designing takes place, you should evaluate the material options and system requirements. This means that the characteristic of the materials to be used for a specific project must be, of course, number one, of good quality. This is the most important factor when choosing materials to buy. Products with good quality are long-lasting and safe to use because you know that it follows certain standards before being commercialized. Number two, reliable. It means that you can be sure that it will perform its function well, it will also operate safely, and it will give you the best it could give. Third, suitable for the application purposes. Choose the materials which are very necessary to make the project possible. Making a list of products or materials to buy is a good trait of a wise consumer. Products which are not to be used must be crossed out. And for the last one, low cost. It doesn't mean that you will choose for the less expensive one and exclude the quality. Low cost means you can afford to buy the materials without hurting your pocket and being assured of better quality. Okay, so that will be our lesson for week 1. Again, this is your teacher Jinky, your teacher in grade 11 CSS. That will be all for this week. Goodbye!